Joining us tonight, Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton. Tom, great to have you with us.
Hey, Lou.
I want to, if you will, you know this, but I just want to make sure that our audience is aware of what Sarah Sanders had to say today in her own words about the upcoming Mueller report.
I don't think it is going to be damaging to the president because the entire purpose of the investigation was whether or not there was collusion. Mueller was crystal clear in the fact that there was no collusion. We consider this to be case closed.
And that was obviously yesterday. Your thoughts? Is she right? Case closed?
Well, certainly for everyday Americans who understand that there is no collusion. And so the Mueller report will confirm that. There will be material in there placed by anti-Trump activists on Mueller's team to try to smear the president and suggest misconduct on obstruction.
Well, wait a minute. Let me interrupt you there. I thought that that wasn't supposed to happen. If there's no charge, there's not going to be any of this salacious, ignorant posturing on the part of the radical left on that team of, what is it, 13 to 18 angry Democrats? Why is that being permitted by the Attorney General?
Well, I don't understand why. I never thought there should have been, quote, a Mueller report. Either there were no indictments or there were indictments, and we didn't need an explanation one way or another. An op-ed from anti-Trump activists about the president's conduct as president in firing James Comey, over which he did he did a Hall of America a favor in firing James Comey.
Absolutely.
So the idea that the Justice Department would come in and second-guess his personnel decision is beyond their powers as Justice Department bureaucrats and attorneys. The AG, frankly, should have never allowed them to begin putting pen to paper there. That being said, the overwhelming evidence is there was no obstruction. Obviously, if they could have made the case, they would have. And the big news here is that the Russia hoax has been exposed. The deep state coup cabal has to focus on something else now, like you mentioned, the taxes.
Can you believe that, by the way? Is that not the most idiotic thing you've ever heard of? There's no requirement by law that the president divulge his taxes. He basically told everybody to go to hell when he was campaigning. Why should the answer be any different now?
This would be an unprecedented abuse of the IRS by Congress to target a president. And it's nothing like this has ever happened before. And this shows that the president has been under siege. You know, we have to thank the stars that the Mueller operation is over because the president has been under a siege. The presidency's been under siege. Our republic's been under siege for 2 years, despite Mueller and his operatives knowing for at least a year that there was no Russia collusion, yet they allowed this to continue to fester to make the president look bad. There's going to have to be not only accountability for how the Mueller operation began, but how it operated.
How it operated, and that's obviously that itself is not yet part of the investigation, but certainly it is a focal point now of the Office of Inspector General at the Justice Department to focus on how this all began in the first place. That we expect that report, in the next 60 days. That is going to be, to me at least, the far more interesting report.
I think it will be, but remember, it will be more narrowly focused, at least that's what we are led to believe, on the FISA warrant applications, the shady applications that Mueller, by the way, benefited from and used. The Attorney General has got to take a broader view as to what went on. Remember, the FISA warrants were only one aspect of the spy campaign against President Trump. Right. It included leaks. It included political bias by Strzok, Page, McCabe, et cetera. And, of course, they were trying to entrap the Trump team by launching spies against the Trump campaign. Never in American history has there been such a spy effort against a candidate and abuse of power by an administration targeting its political opposition. Never before. Not Nixon, not Johnson, never before. And Barack Obama, this is his legacy, this corruption.
Hopefully he and his administration will be the focal point of a much more significant and enduring investigation than has plagued this president, innocent throughout.
None of it would have happened but for Barack Obama's permission and
Right.
Look, he condoned it. He certainly was running it out of the White House. The text messages show that. And the big dossier meeting just before President Trump was inaugurated included Obama, Biden, Susan Rice, James Comey. I'd like to see those four come under oath and answer some questions about what they knew and when about this false dossier.
Yeah, I just want to see the investigative conclusion with those four people centrally prominent in it all. I'll even pass on having to decide whether at this time they chose to tell the truth. Tom Fitton, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
As always.
Thank you, Lee.
Good to see you.